Did anybody clip that bit where you talk about your experience with Chrono? When I asked you about RPGs and you gave us that heartfelt story about your experience with it. Did anybody clip that? I've been meaning to
Super
download
Mario
it.
RPG Legend of the Seven Stars taught me that it was okay to cry. Chrono Trigger taught me it was okay to be a girl. I was 12. Luca is my girl. Always will be. That autistic engineering fuck of a woman is my girl. And Robo's my best fucking friend when it comes to RPGs. I am so upset that there's nothing after Chrono Trigger. It's just Chrono Cross exists, and it's the wrong game for that series. It always has been. It's an ensemble game. It's not a small focused cast of characters dealing with the world. It's like 50 characters, and I'm just like, ugh. I have achieved every single ending in Chrono Trigger. Every one. The game taught me things my parents didn't. The game taught me how to make friends. How to be there for someone even if it was to your detriment. How to remember that sometimes it's about sacrificing for each other. How to not give up, even when the cause is lost. To pick up the pieces and go, no, you can keep fighting through the tears, through the failure, through everything. It taught me that you can do everything correct and still lose better than Jean-Luc Picard could ever hope to. Because I did. I stepped into the first fight with Lavos when you're level 20 something and he's a level 50 plus enemy. And I did everything right. I made all of the right calls. I did everything. I fought him in a way that was fighting above and beyond what we should have been able. And it was for nothing. Because at the end of the day, it was rigged. We still lost. Chrono still had to give his life so everyone else had a chance to live. And then they didn't give up on him. They found a way to do the impossible. To not create a time paradox, but to not have Chrono be dead. I was at the Boys and Girls Club in Birmingham, Alabama, Hueytown to be specific. You can look up the building. It's behind a grocery, it was behind a grocery store. I think it's still there. It's a big building. In the game room. To watch Marl hold Chrono on that snowy ass mountain, to hold him on Death's Peak, I started crying because we had him back. It'd been 30 hours, 40, 50 hours since he died, and we had him back. And you better goddamn believe he didn't leave the party the rest of the fucking game. I don't care that there were other triple texts I could have learned. No, Chrono's in the party. He might not be at the front anymore, but he saw it through to the end. Even then in the 90s, games could tell a story better than a book, more visceral than a movie, more touching than a song, because they can take song and book and the visual, they can take the story of a book, the sound of a song, and the visual of a movie, and put it all together. And instead of having to tell it in an hour or 2 or even 10, they can tell it over the course of 100, and every little stupid thing. A book, I get to know the characters because I can read the internal monologue. I can understand the characters. I can get in there with them. A movie, it feels so real because I don't just hear the character's voice. I don't just know what's going on. I see it as if I'm standing there. And music can alter the way I feel about something in my soul. Also, no end credit scene. I'm upset. But a game isn't just Call of Duty or some other stupid shooter. Those are just the loud, people. I learned this through Chrono Trigger and, strangely, Star Fox and tabletop games. You can take a game and characters become so much more alive because I, through what I do, change the story, change them, decide if they live or die in some cases. The game can do so much more than any movie could ever hope. So much more than I as a book writer could ever dream. And it's so much more accessible because anyone, no matter their age, can play a game. He may not have mentioned it, but Alphanod had appraised me of all that came to pass in Gridania. Actually, that's something that should be saved. Ian, I'll tell you when to cut it. Cut out any time that I'm not talking a lot. But in conclusion, when it comes down to it, a video game or a tabletop game or some form of truly interactive media can tell stories that our forefathers dreamed of being able to tell. Can tell stories that shamans in caves could not even begin to imagine the scope of them. People wish movies could tell. There's a reason why certain movies are timeless. It doesn't matter when the movie was made. There's no remaking it. You don't see remakes of The Godfather or Casablanca or The Dark Knight or Jaws or The Shawshank Redemption or any of those. Or Forrest Gump. Because it's impossible to recapture it. It is lightning in a bottle, and as soon as you realize what it is, the bottle shattered. And it's gone. The moment is gone, and it's impossible to redo it. And video games have started to have those timeless classics alive again. Chrono Trigger is my example of a timeless classic. Yeah, what could be done with Tolkien through the medium of video games? We all know the Lord of the Rings movies, or at least most of us do. They did 10 hours of movie. What could we do with a video game if we actually invested in it to tell a good story? And so I'm telling a story with a video game. You guys have been on this journey with me. Not just seeing me react, but contribute as a character in a grander story. As if I were playing a tabletop game with my adoptive dad. And now we're going to have artwork of that. This is still work in progress. We're hoping he can have it done tomorrow so we can get a couple of other pieces done from Heaven's Ward. But there is your bunny, your bimbo bunny bitch, and her thinking support joke about. That's exactly what it's like. It's like watching a movie, but I get to be one of the actors, and no one told me the script in advance, and I'm just supposed to make it happen. Sometimes it's a hit, and sometimes it's a miss. And in this case, I feel like we've had a little too much hit, and no miss. So yeah, video games. The one place where the story being told isn't just the game, it's you as well. You can only semi-replicate tabletop games and how it's a communal story being told, drafted, and written by everyone at the table. But video games can come close. And it's through those four mediums put together that I find video games to be the superior piece of media. One that is not just telling a story, but a story that you have agency in how it plays out. Thank you for listening to my rant. Now let's continue on. Ian, you can cut it here. Actually, Ian, hold on. Hit the like button. If you're watching this over on YouTube, I'd appreciate it. And leave a comment. Tell me what you think of video games in this impromptu rant. In the meantime, we're going to get back to actually playing Final Fantasy XIV. Now you can cut it, Ian. Oh, you have no idea. This is a long fucking time coming. I've got a whole fucking list of solid... She's really excited. She's got 10 grudges in the Book of Grudges that might be sated by this, so... You know, she's here for it.